I am delighted to welcome you back, my most talented learners. I'm so happy to see your bright eyes and curious minds ready for a new adventure. Today's lesson touches on a vital challenge for everyone navigating the intermediate level: how to stop translating in your head and start simply speaking. We are going to learn how to move like a fish in the water of the English language, thinking and reacting just like native speakers do. It is time to break the chains of translation and set your voice free. In a quiet corner of a local library, Oliver was sitting with his head in his hands. He was looking at an English magazine, but his lips were moving silently. He looked like he was solving a complex math problem rather than reading a story. His friend, Elena, sat down across from him with a cheerful smile. "Oliver, you look like you're trying to invent fire. What's wrong?" Oliver looked up and sighed. "Elena, I'm exhausted. Every time I want to say something, I build the sentence in my native language first, then I look for the words in English, then I check the grammar. By the time I'm ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. I feel like a slow computer." Elena nodded sympathetically. "I know that feeling. It's the translation trap. You're treating English like a secret code you need to decrypt, but the English language isn't a puzzle. It's an experience." "But how do I stop?" Oliver asked. "My brain just does it automatically." "You have to retrain your brain," Elena replied. "You have to build direct connections between objects and English words, skipping your native language entirely. Let's try some mental muscle exercises." Elena pointed to a cup of coffee on the table. "What is that, Oliver?" "Don't think of your native word. Just look at it." "A cup of coffee," Oliver said. "Good. Now look at the window. What do you see?" "Glass, sunlight, trees." "Exactly," Elena clapped her hands. "This is the first exercise. Spend 5 minutes a day just naming things in your environment. Don't say, 'A chair is a' native word. Just look at the chair and think, 'chair.' You are building a bridge directly from your eyes to your English vocabulary. If you do this every day, the learners who succeed are the ones who make these direct links." As they left the library and walked toward a park, Elena suggested another trick. "Oliver, try to narrate your life like a movie. In your head, describe what you are doing right now. But keep it very simple." Oliver closed his eyes for a second. "I am walking. The sun is warm. I am hungry. I see a dog." "Perfect," Elena said. "When you use simple sentences, your brain doesn't have time to translate. You're forcing yourself to stay within the English zone. This is a wonderful lesson in mental agility. If you can't find a big word, use a small one. The goal is flow, not perfection." They sat down on a park bench, and Oliver pulled out a small notebook where he had written long lists of single words with their translations. Elena looked at the list and shook her head gently. "Oliver, this is why you translate. You are learning isolated bricks, but you don't have the glue. You need to learn chunks or phrases." "Chunks?" Oliver repeated. "Yes. Instead of learning the word decision and the verb make separately, learn the whole phrase, make a decision. Instead of how and are and you, just learn how's it going as one single sound. When you learn phrases, your brain retrieves the whole chunk at once. You don't have to build the sentence brick by brick. You just throw the whole wall out there." Oliver laughed. "I like that. It's like using a pre-made meal instead of cooking every single ingredient from scratch." "One more thing," Elena added. "When you hear a new word, don't write down the translation. Draw a picture or find an image in your mind. If you hear the word gloomy, don't translate it. Imagine a gray, rainy sky and a sad face. Associate the sound of the English word with a feeling or a picture. This bypasses the language center of your brain that wants to translate. So, Oliver summarized, I should label objects, narrate my day in simple English, learn phrases instead of words, and use pictures instead of translations. Precisely, Elena said. It won't happen overnight, but every time you skip the translation, you are becoming more like a native speaker. You are moving from being a student who knows English to a speaker who lives English. A few weeks later, Elena and Oliver met again at the same cafe. A tourist approached them, looking confused. "Excuse me," the tourist said, "do you know where the nearest subway station is?" In the past, Oliver would have frozen. He would have translated nearest, subway, and station in his head. But this time, a picture of the blue M sign appeared in his mind. "Yes," Oliver said immediately. "Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left at the pharmacy. You will see the entrance." The tourist smiled, thanked him, and walked away. Oliver stood there, frozen in shock, but for a good reason. "Elena, I did it!" he shouted. "I didn't translate. I just saw the map in my head and the words came out. It was automatic." Elena beamed with pride. "Welcome to the other side, Oliver. You aren't just a learner anymore. You are a speaker." Oliver's story is a reminder that the brain is like a muscle. If you train it to translate, it will translate. If you train it to connect directly to the world, it will speak. The English language is a beautiful, living thing, and it wants to live in your heart, not just in your dictionary. Start today. Look at your phone and think, phone. Look at the sky and think, cloud. Speak to yourself in the shower. Describe your breakfast. These small steps will eventually lead to a giant leap in your fluency. You have the talent, you just need the practice. I hope, my precious learners, that you enjoyed today's journey and that you feel much closer to your success in mastering the English language. Remember, the goal is not to be a perfect translator, but to be a confident communicator. Every time you think directly in English, you are winning a great victory. I highly recommend that you listen to this lesson again, as repetition is the key that turns new information into a permanent habit. Keep practicing, keep dreaming, and I will see you in our next story.